All right, let's get started. Welcome everyone to a new episode of our leadership series. Today is a special day. It's a portal, 1111, an incredible portal, and it's the day of your launch. Congratulations, Selena.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here, and I just want to thank you for all you do to elevate women and leadership. So thank you.
And you are, I think this whole series was just made for you because I'm going to share the book here with everyone watching us. We're going to talk about it again and again, but I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, here we go. It's Quick Leadership. Congratulations, Selena. And it's out today. And everybody can get the book, right? Let me see it.
Yes.
Let me see it. You have it in your hand. Yes. Wow. I wasn't sure you would have it.
Yes, I get some early author copies, and it was such a treat to open those up and see it. And
isn't it the best
I
part?
really hope I hope more than anything, it helps lots of people, lots of managers, to be a little more human at work.
I love that. This is going to be a fun. So you are a bestseller. You've already written so many books. So I'm in awe when I saw your profile and like everything. And I know that this one was very special for you. So what is it? Why is it? And the title, Quick Leadership, what does it really mean? Is it quick? Is it long? Why quick? Can you tell us? What's the story?
Absolutely. Well, I want to first tell you just why this is personal and special to me, and maybe some of the people joining us can relate.
Yeah, they are already. You get a lot of congrats. Here we go. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. So tell me, why is it so special?
I grew up the daughter of a workaholic. My father was an apparel executive, and he was stressed on Sundays, on weeknights. I could tell he was distracted just thinking about work. And it actually got to the point where he had some heart issues and checked himself out of the hospital against medical orders to give a presentation. And I lost my dad young. I was 13 when I lost him to a heart attack, and it really colored how I view work and being able to, make your career a sustainable one, not just for you, a leader or a manager, but for your people. Yes. So that's why this book feels so personal to me. It's time to make work more human. Yes. And to answer your question about quick, why do we have quick in the title?
Why do we have quick? Yes. It's the first time I see quick with leadership. So, wow.
Yeah. And it's the idea, it's challenging the idea that leadership needs to be slow, bureaucratic, overthought, or like a theory class in college, that it's about small, intentional moves that you make every day. And those can build trust fast. Yes. So that's the idea. It doesn't mean rushed, but it does mean being responsive as a leader.
So it means you have to quickly be ready to make the right decision, like no time.
Yeah, and to err on the side of people first, people over task.
I think I don't know if they can hear us well, everyone, because it's cuts. Can you? Okay. Do I come across okay from your side, Selena? Because you do cuts from this
Perfectly,
sandwich. Okay, perfect. Okay.
perfectly clear.
So that basically shaped you. How do you consider yourself today as a CEO, as a professional, as a leader, as a reference in your field? How do you balance so that you don't fall into the trap of being working too much or letting go too much? How do you do that?
I want to be honest that it's a struggle I still work on. Over identifying with my job,
Mhm.
or this is something I wrote about just recently in my newsletter.
Mm.
Relying too much on external validation can be
Yeah.
really dangerous
Yes.
because, one bad week or one bad year, and you can feel totally sidelined as a person. You didn't get the attention or the accolades or the promotion you got 2 years ago. Suddenly
Mhm.
you're feeling less than.
Mhm.
So one of the things I'm working on is
Mhm.
creating a full life, like a rich life outside of work,
Mhm.
investing in myself, to
Mhm.
learn new things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even like crime shows and horror movies. I'm part of a women's horror movie club.
Really?
Just
Oh
little,
my
yeah,
God. Do you? I
just
can't
little.
watch horror movie. I step out of the movie theater when it's too scary.
It's a very strange thing to enjoy, but just this idea that you need to take time to develop yourself. It's not going to happen on its own. And I find when I put more into my life outside of work, not only is
Mhm.
my life getting richer, but work
Sure.
becomes a little bit smaller, a little easier to compartmentalize in one place.
Mhm. Yeah. And so, can you?
I don't know if you are frozen, but I can't hear you.
I think I have lost the connection. We froze in
Oh,
the same.
I
Yeah.
can hear you. I think we had a
No,
frozen moment.
that was it. Like everybody's like you froze. Okay, so can you tell me, because you portray this leadership that is so humane, so sweet, yet you
Hmm.
are in the horror movie. Can you tell me how is this two identities come together?
That's a really interesting question. I'm not sure I've given it the thought it deserves.
Mhm.
But I think with the crime podcasts and things like that, it's the idea that truth is stranger than fiction. That
Mhm.
human behavior is such an interesting thing,
It
and it's what
is.
made me wanna study psychology and social work, which I did in the first place. So I think just the bounds of where humans can go is really fascinating, both the good and the bad.
And it is true. And I agree with you, because when you look at human behavior, sometimes you're like, this cannot be real, I think.
Yes, you could not your most creative writer or thinker in the world could not have come up with it, and
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so it's hard to get bored. It's hard to get bored with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you are able to figure to look at things without being affected, and I think that's what's hard to do. So how do you how what is it that helped you? You said something very powerful earlier, is like you stop external validation. There is another thing, which is you stop being affected with whatever behavior comes your way. How do you
Mm.
get to strengthen that side? Because as leaders, this is what we want to be so confident in ourselves that we're okay no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah, so how do you kind of stay strong in those high stakes
Yeah.
moments? I
Yeah.
think for one, I think it's about affirming yourself before you
Mhm.
go into that situation. I know
Mhm.
that's really helped me as a business owner, as a speaker. sometimes it's scary. You're in that waiting room, or you're in the lobby,
Yes.
you're in the green room as a speaker waiting to go on. And it's very easy for your thoughts to go to the dark side. What if I forget? What if I don't show up confidently? What if I? And so I'm a big fan of taking control of that, really proactively affirming yourself, dwelling
I love
on your successes,
Yeah.
your past successes. One of the things I say to myself sometimes is, I belong here. I
I love
400% belong here in this room.
That's my space. Yeah, my place. I
Yes,
love
yes.
that. This is such a beautiful advice to everyone watching us. Like, no matter where we are, this is my space.
That's
I love
right. And sometimes it's the difference between, I'm a nervous guest here
it.
and I'm needed in this room. I belong in
Mm,
this room. And that's an important mindset shift
it does.
before you
It
even get
calms,
in there.
it calms you down, isn't it? It's like,
That's right.
yeah,
Well, and we were talking about the danger of external validation.
yes. Mm,
That's coming from your core of who you are and yourself. It's a
yes.
little less shakable
Mm,
than just relying on your degree or a credential or
that's
something outside. This is a knowing confidence in
It's
you.
like your core, like inside, and it has nothing to do with the diplomas. It has nothing to do with circumstances. Absolutely. We have a lot of comments here. Fantastic. I belong here. Yes, she said, I will remember this advice. And it is, yes, that's incredible because it's true. It's like, do you have to always like stop questioning yourself? Am I going to be good? But you, if you belong, then it's okay. Everything's gonna be all right. No matter how you show up, you're just in
So
your place.
true. And I'm sure you found this, and those joining us today, but we often teach other people how to treat us, how
Yeah.
to view us. And so
Mm.
when we walk into the room like we belong
Huh?
and sit at one of the main chairs, and
Yes.
we sit back like we belong there,
Mhm.
guess how other people perceive us?
Yeah.
Right. And the same is true on the opposite side.
Mm.
If we kind of walk in looking unsure that we belong there, that we may not have anything to contribute, we sit
Mhm.
on the outside ring of chairs,
Mhm.
we're teaching people something about our value.
Yeah, to push us aside. We're like, we can push her. Yeah. So we actually, our attitude towards ourselves mirrors people's attitude towards us and how they treat us. And I think that's so powerful when we understand that. So I want to come back to your incredible work on leadership. What do you think is, we talk about leadership everywhere. It's such a big, fashionable, it's like, it feels good. It's like, it's leadership. So what is the, yeah, it's true. Like even this series, but this series, I really get leaders from around the world that have thought through the subject and can actually give us and demystifies the myth about leadership. So what do you think is the most unclear understanding today around leadership?
I think there's a myth among leaders. I know I grew up with this image, which is that leaders should have all the answers. I'm not going to go for that high level job because I don't know enough. I need 2 more years. I need one more degree. I need more seasoning before I'm ready. And in fact, leaders, we already know they don't have all the answers, right?
Yes.
And what I find is that the best leaders really empower the people around them. So, for example, I have an exercise in this book I
Excellent. We
call,
are all getting this book. Is it on Amazon today? So
yes,
today is
it
the
is.
day out. Okay, so we will drop the
It
link
is.
on Amazon.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
Okay.
But there's a quick exercise I call Ask 3 before you answer. So if an employee comes to you, either in a team meeting or a one-to-one, and they say, I'm having a problem with the client, I'm not sure what to do next, rather than rushing in with the solution, you, the leader, would ask them some questions like,
Mhm.
what have you tried so far? You know,
Yes.
what solution are you leaning towards?
Mm.
What do you think would be the most important next step?
Mm.
And you're getting them to think critically. You're boosting their muscle, right?
Yeah.
Of critical problem solving skills. And
Mm.
people remember that and they appreciate that about leaders versus just, I need to be all knowing. I deliver the answers to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real
And it push
leadership,
I
it's
love
less about control and
uh
it's more about creating space for other people to shine.
And I love that. And it's about time that we change that definition. Like, don't
That's
put
right.
everything on a leader. And even leaders, they should put down some of the heavy weights. They don't need to carry all of that. They,
Yes, and
yes.
I think that beyond having all the answers being a
Yeah.
myth, I
Mm.
think another myth that gets in the way, again,
Mm.
I used to believe this myself,
Mm.
is that we have a saying here, never let them see you sweat. You
Oh.
know,
Mm.
basically, you should be unflappable. You should
Mm.
be almost bulletproof as a leader.
Yeah.
And it's time for us to redefine that
Yes.
because people appreciate your humanness.
Of
It's a big
course.
part of why I wrote this book.
Mm.
Um,
I
being
love
willing to be vulnerable, you know,
yes.
to share your mistakes, um, a time that you under communicated,
Mm.
a time that, you know, you assumed no news was good news, a
Mm.
time that you failed to ask for help. Share that with your team. It's going to build so much trust
It does.
and not to mention help them avoid that mistake in their future.
And it builds connections, and connections are
That's right.
built through emotions. They're not built through like brain and like, I'm very good at everything, but through that
That's right.
vulnerability it creates that bridge, right? That space where you can connect. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you also are creating an environment then that people are more likely to take positive risks.
Hmm.
They're more likely to be innovative, partly because they know a mistake is not the end of the world.
Hmm.
You know, so
Yeah.
they're willing to iterate, to try, to experiment,
Hmm.
and that's something you want. That is so special, and just simply, again, sharing your mistakes, sharing about a time your thinking changed on an
Hmm.
issue,
Hmm.
um,
I love that.
sharing maybe relating to your people a little bit. I saw a leader not long ago, his
Uh-huh.
people were struggling with a big change, and
Mhm.
just him admitting, I know
I
this change
know.
has been tough on everybody. You know, I'm rattled by it too.
Yeah, just
You
seeing
know,
them, like, just telling them that I see you going through that, and it
that's
makes
right.
a difference. Yeah. You also work a lot on influence, how to help people gain influence. Can you tell us what are, like, how do you do that without having to use authority, without having to use the controlling side of being a big manager or an authority?
Mhm. You know, I think that influence is something all of us have and
Mhm.
not everybody uses, right?
Mm.
And here's how I think of it. I think
Okay.
about it a little bit on a spectrum.
Mhm.
So, on one side of influence, you have people who are a little bit more passive,
Mhm.
maybe apologetic in asking for something or proposing something new,
Mhm.
maybe avoidant. And then all the way on the other side, you have very domineering people who
Yeah.
are insistent, you know, who are over the top in how
Mm.
they influence. It feels
Yeah.
like they're pushing you around.
Yes.
And what I encourage people to do is to shoot for that magic middle. And I call that healthy entitlement.
I love that
Um,
magic middle. Yeah,
that's
I love the
right.
way you
And
say magic. It is magic. You to really find it. Healthy
that's right.
entitlement.
And
Okay,
it's honest,
it
it's
is.
clear,
Mhm.
it's looking for two-way benefit,
Mhm.
right? But it's basically communicating when you carry yourself this way, when you influence others this way, it's communicating, you know, my needs are no less or no more important than yours.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
looking at people peer to peer, even if it's the senior vice president at your company, you're talking to them like a peer you respect. You are not putting people all the way up here on a pedestal. and
Oh,
communicating and behaving in that way. It's that egalitarian
yeah.
peer-to-peer approach.
I
And
love that.
boy, does that improve your influence.
It really does. So, can we look at it as looking at others as leaders as well? And when you talk to them, they're also leader. And this way you become leaders of leaders. So
Mm.
it's like shoulders to shoulder. Does that
That's a
approach
beautiful way.
your yeah. Is
It's a beautiful way to think of it, and I would encourage, those joining us or watching the replay,
Mhm.
think about a time somebody gave you confidence. A
Yes.
leader believed in you. Maybe it was something small, maybe
Mm,
it was something big. I
mm,
remember a female senior consultant who was
mhm,
above me when I was a young woman in my 20s,
mm.
and just her simple suggestion, Selena, why don't you give the client presentation next week?
Hmm, hmm,
I had never thought of that. I had never considered being the face, the
hmm.
representative of our company. And it meant everything to me
Amazing.
that
And
she
you still
saw me.
remember it. You still
Oh,
remember
yeah,
it. That's
it makes me
incredible.
want to cry. It makes me want to cry right now. And she's still my friend
Because she
and my
believed in
mom.
you. She's
She
so in
did.
you.
And
Yes.
and what's amazing is that may be small and forgettable to her
Not
asking me
to
that,
you. Hmm.
major to me. And
Thank you
you
for
know, if
sharing this. It is
if you
major.
think about somebody who did that for you,
Oh,
there's
yes.
so many little micro
I
affirmations we can
agree.
give other people.
I agree. I when I was doing my PhD, and my professor, who was like this big reference in water management, like he tells me just go and speak. I'm like, what? He believes in me, and I think that very way of being with me had created more self confidence and boosted me,
Mm,
because I had a mentor and a professor who made me feel like, wow, I'm legitimate here. I can do something.
mm,
And you're right, these things we never forget them. And I think if we can just call on everyone to be that voice or that leader for one person a day, would change the world, isn't
yes.
it? Like, really,
It
truly.
it changes, it can change that person's life. And
Absolutely.
if it's
Absolutely.
okay with you, can I tell you one more example of
Yes,
someone
of
who
course,
did
we
that for
love
me?
that. Yes.
Okay, because this changed my life. I was getting my MBA, and I was very excited in my program I could direct a little bit of my own research,
Uh-huh.
and we had to get that research approved. And I knew just what I wanted to do. I wanted to study women in leadership, to interview women in the C-suite.
Okay.
The only problem is I didn't know a single one, and I
Mm.
had no connections to them, through my network. I had one female professor at Johns Hopkins. Her name is Lindsay Thompson.
Uh-huh.
And she said, Selena, I will accept your proposal to research, to interview these women on one condition. She said, you have to go after the giants. You
Wow.
have to go after the women you think won't even read your
We
email.
do, won't even listen to you. Yeah, that's a big challenge. And did
And
you?
I did. I
You
did.
did.
With her prompting, I would not have shot that high on my own. And 30 interviews later with amazing women like the CEO of the Washington Post at the time,
Wow.
the
Hmm.
CEO of the Los Angeles Dodgers,
Incredible.
amazing women who changed my life. I did that thanks to her. It became a book. It
Mm.
became a business and a
Mhm.
mission
Mhm.
and a life. And
Yeah.
so I encourage
That's
people to
how you
be a
started.
Lindsay, be a
Oh,
Lindsay to someone else. Say, that's a nice dream. Now think bigger.
think bigger. I love that. And somehow when we have a real mission inside of us, and I knew had it because you had your why quite early. You wanted to change the way business is being done.
Mhm.
Somehow on your way, mentors come, someone to give you a hand to elevate you to a higher level, if only we trust that and we listen truly, because she came on your way, right? That professor, she's just like,
Yeah.
but she found you ready. The mentor shows up when the mentee is ready.
I think so. And,
Mm.
sometimes you have to make those bold proposals that scare you, that
Yes.
frighten you
Always.
to say
Always.
it out loud. Like,
Yeah,
are you going to
always.
think I'm crazy? Am I going to think I'm crazy when I say this? But that's how you know you're doing something worthwhile. Is it's
Yeah.
scary, it's uncomfortable, it's thrilling at the same time.
So now that you have this incredible books, you're so known. What's the scary move you could share with us? The like, what if? What would
That's a
be?
great question. It might sound funny to people, but I think a scary move for me is slowing down.
Wow. Yeah.
Is
No, but
slowing
I
down.
understand you. I truly understand that, and it lands so well on you.
Yeah, and as a woman in my late 40s,
Mm,
I'm dealing with some things like perimenopause that are forcing me to
mm,
slow down a little bit and
mm,
to not just be this run, 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 go, go, go person.
mm.
Um, I also have twins who just hit
Oh,
teenage years, and
okay,
I
they need
I
you. Yeah.
feel a strong
Congratulations. That's good.
thank you, but I feel like a strong, pull to
Mm,
really make the time where they're living under my roof
yes,
matter
of
and
course.
to enjoy it
And to
to
be the
its
best
full.
mom. Mm,
Yeah, and
mm,
so for me, I think the scariest thing is to say work will always be there,
yes.
but there's these other things that matter too and deserve my best, energy and attention and space, and that's the challenge I'm working
I
with
love that.
now.
I love you for saying that and for being so honest and authentic. Because
Mhm.
us women, when you go after so many things, and we go so many things that are scary, that needs boldness, that needs courage, and there needs consistency and a discipline that could
Mm,
look so fast. You're like, what if I could let
yeah,
go and trust and just be in a more I think it's slower, but you listen to yourself, right? If your body tells you,
mhm,
okay, now this is a time where I want to spend more time for me and my family, and
that's
trust that
right.
all the other things you've planted so many seeds, they will all come. Yeah.
That's a beautiful way to look at it, and it's really about letting go of the scarcity mindset, and I think especially when we're young, it's easy to buy into that. "Oh, there's
Mm,
only so much. If I
mm.
don't hustle hard now, this bad thing will happen or someone else will." It's like a competitive mindset,
Yeah.
and I think it's opening up to more of a growth mindset. I always have more to learn and a more abundance mindset. There's
Yes.
plenty,
and
for all of us.
and when you
There's
say
plenty.
absolutely, and when you say slowing down, it's really giving the space to maybe receive. And when you give the space, you might be surprised that you could actually receive more, you know, if
That's
only we
really
could trust it.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard to do your best thinking
Uh-huh.
when you're sprinting on a
Yes.
treadmill, right? Like, of life, and, so there's something to be said for slowing down, and we all of us, not just women,
Mm,
need to continually reflect on,
yes.
is this working for me? The
Mm,
life I've built, is
mm.
this using my strengths, leaving me with enough energy that I, feel good week to week? And
Mm.
that ongoing reflection is hard. It would be a lot easier if things could just
Yeah,
stay the
it's like you
same,
don't
but
have
they
to. Oh,
don't.
yeah, it's like run, run, run.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But you've done so many beautiful things. I'm sure your twins are so proud of their mom and so proud of having created a new paradigm around working
Mhm.
and harmony. And also with all those books and guidance that you provide to people. I think that's all of that is just an incredible way of showing that you always thrive to becoming a better person. And I think just slowing down for you is like, how can I even be a better person? And it's beautiful to witness. Thank you so much for sharing all this so authentically. I always ask my guests, what does leadership mean? But you are the author of leadership. But I still want to hear you saying, what does leadership, if you were to define it in one sentence, what would you say?
I would say, um, people will remember how you make them feel more than what you achieved. So leave people feeling capable, not controlled.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. You made us feel so good today, for real.
Oh, thank you.
And,
This was
and
so
you really,
wonderful.
it is. And you're such an incredible woman. Thank you for sharing your story, your different anecdotes that just gives us, like really saying that you keep on going and there is always somebody to push you more. And congratulations again for your beautiful book. I'm inviting everyone to get it, Quick Leadership. It feels quick to read, so that's the feeling it gives me. So I'm getting my
Thank you so much.
thank you so
I
much.
really appreciate it, and I'm excited to keep tuning in and watching your other interviews.
Absolutely. And same here. I really, I love your work, and congratulations for the amazing things you're doing for all of us leaders.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for being with us today. Thank you.